Good morning, St. Bart's folks. Today's sermon is mostly about the passage from Numbers, but also I'm going to reference John 3:16, which some people have called the gospel in a nutshell. In that section of the gospel for today, Jesus tells Nicodemus that the Son of Man must be lifted up like the bronze serpent was lifted up in the desert. And that's a reference to the passage in Numbers. For the fifth time during the trek from Egypt to the Holy Land, the people complained about no food, no water, or the food that they had was no good. And God finally apparently was just fed up and sent poisonous snakes to the people. And people were dying and they were upset, and they went to Moses and said, they begged, we understand we've offended God, please pray to him for us and ask him to stop sending the snakes. So what God told Moses to do was to build, this is a bizarre thing, to build a bronze serpent on a pole and put it in the desert, and then instruct the people to gaze upon this bronze serpent, and they would be cured of their snake bite. And that actually happened. It actually worked. It's interesting to note that the ancient caduceus, which is at least 4,000 years old, is very similar to the bronze serpent. The caduceus is the medical symbol for doctors, and it's a pole with two snakes wrapped around the pole. And so apparently the author of Numbers was aware of that tradition. It's also interesting that King Hezekiah, who was one of the good kings in the Old Testament, eventually got rid of the serpent because people were using it as an idol, and it was distracting from their worship of God. So for the scripture, I want to read you Eugene Peterson's version of this story in the Message. They set out from Mount Hor along the Red Sea Road, a detour around the land of Edom. The people became irritable and cross as they traveled. They spoke out against God and Moses. Why did you drag us out of Egypt to die in this God-forsaken country? No decent food, no water. We can't stomach this stuff any longer. So God sent poisonous snakes among the people. They bit them, and many in Israel died. The people came to Moses and said, we sinned when we spoke out against God and you. Pray to God. Ask him to take these snakes from us. Moses prayed for the people. God said to Moses, make a snake and put it on a flagpole. Whoever is bitten and looks at it will live. So Moses made a snake of fiery copper and put it on top of a flagpole. Anyone bitten by a snake who then looked at the copper snake lived. And that's the scripture for today. Getting to our situation, we find ourselves here in early 2021. God did not send coronavirus like he sent the poisonous snakes. The coronavirus developed on its own. Nobody seems to know exactly how, but scientists know that viruses do mutate, and that happens. So I was contemplating this crazy thought the other day. What if our bronze serpent for today is the vaccines? The vaccines are our bronze serpent. We don't have to look at them. All we have to do is receive the vaccinations in our arms. So our duty, our responsibility is to get vaccinated, wear masks, do social distancing, and try to get us past this horrendous pandemic. As far as myself, I'm fully vaccinated now. I'm fully hopeful. I'm praying for worldwide healing. I'm praying for an end to the plague. Lord, have mercy.